How do I feel about this tactical fixed blade after having owned it for a little while? Stick around and we'll go through it. And we're back! Okay, welcome back to 5 Minute Knives, the channel that's getting a little too old to go hanging out in the gym. Today, we're going to talk about this guy, Chill. And this is the Dillon's Knives Eclipse blade wearing one of my sheaths. I had to make a sheath for it. And I've had this knife for a little while now. You saw my initial video on the Eclipse, ranting and raving about how much I liked it, and I couldn't believe the price point. Now, I know they sold a bunch of them, and they're working on a new design now that I may or may not have some influence on, which I'm not supposed to mention, so I won't. You can see in the sheath that I made for it too, it's actually kind of funny. Look, you can see where like some of the tape went over here, and that kind of came through in the sheath. So if this was going to a customer, I'd iron that out, but since it's for me, I didn't care. And the reason that's there is because I had to make some blocking, because this is a harpoon shape. So you have to make some blocking for the back end here. But this knife has really grown on me a lot. I mean, I loved it when I first got it, but the longer I've owned it for, just the more it's grown on me, you know? And I think a big part of the reason is it just handles really well. So this is S35VN steel, carbon fiber handle. They're selling this model, I believe, if they still have any left, they may have sold out of this one, for $175. G10, I think it's $150, if I'm not mistaken, which is a great price. And you're thinking, okay, well, how did they get to that price point? Well, it's made in China. That's how. Things are cheaper. Labor's cheaper. So if you have stuff made in China, you get to save some money, and that gets passed on to us. And where I think that comes in handy is when you're on the fence about a design that you normally wouldn't spring for. And in my case, it's a harpoon shape. I'm not usually a fan of harpoon shaped knives, but ironically, the first video I ever made for this channel ever was on the Wee Knives. I think it was the 617 folding harpoon blade. And I love that knife dearly. That went to a good friend and I miss it. I kind of want that back, actually. And kind of the same thing with this one. So I'm 2 for 2 with harpoon shaped blades. Whereas I normally wouldn't have went for them, they end up being some of my favorite knives. I think in part because it affects the balance. A little more weight comes out towards the end, and it's actually really nice. And when you combine that with the weight of the carbon fiber, we just get this really nice balance. So this is going to be a very quick video, a wham bammer. If you guys are interested in this knife, you can pick it up in the link below. There's a discount code you can use, I believe for 5% off, something like that, but it's already pretty affordable. And these are just so cool. I'm so into it. Once again with the weight on this guy is 7.8 ounces, so it's not light. And with my sheath, 12.4 ounces, something like that. So not a very lightweight blade, but I don't mind that at all. I'm actually gonna probably throw some molly clips on this thing and put it on my cranky vest. I think this would be a fine addition for my cranky vest, actually. I don't know, I could just see myself, you know, wielding this some grum in the cranky times, you know? And because I've owned it for a little while, I've gotten to really sharpen the heck out of it. So it's just spooky sharp now. But I don't know. There's something about this knife that spoke to me right from the start. I have a few friends that bought this knife, and we all kind of say the same thing. Like, it's just one of those knives you have to get in hand to really feel why it's so cool. But I love this thing. I think it's a really cool knife. Normally, when I get a new knife, especially a design that, you know, I'm sort of taking a chance on, it's kind of out of my regular style that I would go for. You know, there's a honeymoon phase of about a week or so where I play around with it. You know, I watch TV with it, I sharpen it, you know, use it for some light food prep or something around the house if I'm going to do that. This one I wouldn't. But after that, it gets put away and it stays there. Unless somebody needs a sheath made out of it, and then I fish it out for the sheath. And that's about it. But this one has remained by my side since I've gotten it, which is testament to the fact that I must really like it. 5-inch blade, it's kind of like the perfect size. But some folks didn't like how this terminated here. I actually don't mind it when I choke down, the pinky kind of wraps around there. It's actually very comfortable. Now in a reverse grip, which this does work in a reverse grip very well, this is uncomfortable to the thumb. So I could see your point there if you wanted this slanted the other way, so you had something to press down on in a reverse grip. That being said, I don't hold my knives in a reverse grip, so it's a non-issue for me. So no big deal on my end. But I see where some of you reverse grip guys might take issue with the shape of the handle here. I actually think it's really cool, you know, and as far as like an attitude adjuster, it's in the right spot for foregrip. Also, I've noticed with the way that the handle terminates like so, I actually have something to press down on if I'm really bearing down, although I don't understand why you would go against the jimping. But this is nice in a saber grip. Other than that, it's just like a weird futuristic Batman looking thing. I really like it. I think it's a piece of art, and I think that in the cranky times this would become very valuable. So let's go ahead and roll into subscribe Starians as I'm kind of drooling over this thing. I love them. You get 15% off a custom sheath when you sign up for as little as $1, making it not cost you anything for like some months, which is cool, even at $1, guys. But a lot of guys, you know, they don't want to do that. They'd rather pay full price. That's fine. I don't mind that either. You can buy me a coffee below if you want to support the channel. Some of you guys have been leaving super thanks. I really appreciate that. Check out the website, 5minuteknives.com. That's my 2 cents. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time right here on 5 Minute Knives.